I feel like it chose me. I feel like the creative path picked me. I don't know, it felt like that was the only thing I wanted to do, that I was able to do. He makes powerful films that have a real human quality to them.
I remember my first experience when I saw Black Swan. It was like watching magic, manifestation on screen.
Right.
It was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I just played it. I think I was in for a ride. I was just
right. One of those films that...
Yeah, I was just like, well, Black Swan, let's just see it. And at the end of it, to me, when she said, I felt perfect, to me, that's like movie perfection. Like, there is no, you don't want anything else. You feel like the director did justice. They've given you everything that is to give.
Right.
You don't want nothing else.
That was the feeling.
That was the feeling I got from Black Swan.
And I think that is the center area of the Venn diagram between comedy and horror. When you have characters in a room together that hate each other, and maybe it's a comedy, but you don't know, when you don't know where it's going, that's the true horror. When you're not sure if you turn a movie on, it's kind of funny, but there's something unsettling. But it's funny, but it's unsettling, and it just keeps escalating. And I think when you merge those together, the unknown is what's the scariest to all of us. I mean, like Hitchcock said, it's like, the image of the closed door is the scariest thing you could show someone.
So we had a session on the host, and it was really intriguing for me. It was inspiring. The amount of work that you're able to do as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a writer, I think it's highly impressive. It's almost like I haven't met someone do things on your level. It's like I've met people, but you have this hard work. Like, your hard work can be seen, and it's almost like you can be in so many different places at the same time. I don't know how you're able to manage yourself to get that done.
I have no idea.
So, but it's really impressive. But yeah, I would like us to just talk about something that we already spoke about in the show, but we can expand on that. Like,
Sure.
How did you fall in love with filmmaking? How did you fall in love with storytelling? And how did you decide that, this is something that I believe I can do this for the long run, and because I just love doing this? How did you come up with that decision?
I feel like it chose me. I feel like the creative path picked me. I don't know, it felt like that was the only thing I wanted to do, that I was able to do. So, I mean, every day I question it. There's always the demands of life that get in the way. There's the financial aspect and everything else that goes along with living. But, deep in my bones, I love to create and make art and share stories with people. So in some shape or form, that's really what I want to do.
I'm glad you mentioned the financial aspect, because that's one of the biggest thing for creatives. Most people want to be full-time creatives, but it's difficult to tell them, listen, if you just keep doing it, you're going to make money from it. It's difficult because they want to be creatives, but they also got bills to pay.
Right.
So it's good that you mentioned that aspect. And someone like me, it's so easy for me to just tell people, just ditch whatever you're doing if it doesn't make you happy. Because in the long run, you will thank yourself for being a creative, for doing what you love. And in the long run, if you keep doing this thing that you're doing, you won't be thankful to yourself. But it's so easy for me to say that, because I have been able to mix one or two things and say, okay, yes, I want to go in the creative route. But how are you able to how do you think people can cross over that barrier of, you know what, let me just do what I love and see maybe I could do this full time. Like how we, with all these bills, because you always got bills piling up. And how do you think people can cross? So let's say, for example, you want to advise someone and it's not like a young fellow, it's someone that's has some responsibilities, because it's easier if you're a young fellow, you're still in college, or you're just coming out of college, you're still with your parents, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay car insurance, you could still like talk it out with your parents and get by. But if it's someone that doesn't have those medium and they want to do it full time, but they don't see how they can do it full time because they have these bills that's piling up, what can you tell them? How can they go around it?
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, it's very tough, especially living in New York. Rent is high. Gas prices are high now. Transit costs are going up. Everything's expensive. Groceries.
Gas. Yeah.
You know, being creative, I feel like, I would love to make much more than I do in the creative field. It's something that I'm working on, a career that I will be able to make the full amount to fully support myself. In the meantime, I am very lucky that I have some alternate means of income.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I do some investing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have been raised in a family that invests and was taught to always save money. And, I was raised to just basically work hard and don't spend too much on things you don't need.
Amen.
So that comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
From a young age, I was taught about stocks and, putting your money away in stocks that have dividends and interest. And that money I don't touch.
Mm-hmm.
That money funds itself.
Mm-hmm.
In the long run, it has paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And I started small with it. I started with a small amount, but, instead of putting it in a bank account, I put my money into stocks and I set it aside, and that's my backup.
That's really interesting. And I like when you said, just buy what you need. Don't buy things you don't need. I think if I'm going to chime in, I'd say, as a filmmaker, one of the mistakes I used to make was I was always more into gear. I want to buy the most expensive gear. I want to buy the things, but you don't have to do none of those things. Life is now much more easier. You can use your cell phone.
Right.
You spoke about vertical shots. You could shoot your vertical dramas on a cell phone, and all you need is a good microphone and a cell phone with a good camera. So that takes that burden off. You don't need to get a red dragon camera. You don't need to get a black magic camera. You don't have to. So that would really help in the long run. But let's talk about the things that you love doing. Like, let's say if I meet you outside and you're doing what you would do on a regular day, what would you be doing?
Well, I like the simple things in life, honestly. Lately, I've been just grinding so hard, honestly. I wish I had more time to just exist. But honestly, the more I've been busy, the more I do appreciate those downtimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love just going to the park. I like going to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I love to drive. I love to travel in general. I am a person, I love my alone time.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you're around people all day long, sometimes, you need a period where you just need to recharge your batteries.
Exactly.
And it's tough because when I'm around people, I'm pretty social. I try to be social and friendly and outgoing. But deep inside, I'm pretty quiet. I like to stay to myself. And I feel like if I don't have a period of solitude, then I get to a point where I kind of run out of fuel for everything else. So those
Interesting.
moments I really do appreciate.
All right, you spoke about networking. All right. So now I want us to. How do you find that balance? Because you need that time where when you have to recharge your battery, and then you also mentioned that we need to network in order to almost like your network is your net worth. So you got to go out there and still talk to people. Now, what if you just completed a project and you're still recharging, but then during your previous networking event, you set up like a meeting or an appointment that now you have to really go interact with people? How would you structure yourself to still achieve and optimize results and still not get too drained out, your battery drained out?
Well, it's a work in progress for me. I mean, I feel like right now I'm currently experiencing. I've been experiencing feelings like that where, I'm trying to get my auditions in and I'm trying to go to networking events, and sometimes I only have a day or two in between projects. I would say, if you don't have anything left, if you are an empty kettle, you have nothing to give to the world. So you have to make sure that you take care of yourself, whether it be, sleeping, just getting some rest. I would say, with that being said, I try my best to still, commit to whatever I can do. And yeah, sometimes I can't make everything. Sometimes I'm double booked with 2 different projects or a networking event, or it comes down to hanging out with my friends or doing something for business. And you have to make those tough decisions.
Yeah.
Hopefully in life you have friends that are understanding with those sorts of things. But I think, it can be lonely, but it doesn't have to. And I think it's important to find that balance with everything. And it's something that you do find as you go. I really do try to do everything, but I don't know, as you progress, I think more with your career. For me, I realize that I don't have to submit to every project, every single project in existence. Like when I first started, it was, I want to do some acting. I need to submit to anything that says actor in it. And that would be every single student film I could find, and every single thing on Craigslist that had actor in it. And I was just insane. And it was good because I met a lot of people, but you meet a lot of people that, they have ideas, but then you realize, well, this is a dead end and that's a dead end. And, it's good to try out things. But then as you progress, maybe you're not so desperate to just spread yourself too thin. Then you have quality people, quality projects, and things that you want to focus on that you can delve deeper into. And maybe you'll get better results if you have more time to, devote to those specific projects.
Interesting. Do you still do audition?
I do. I audition usually almost every day, self-tapes.
Self-tapes? Okay.
Virtual auditions, sometimes live, but...
So your auditions, is it like for a specific project, or you just like do your self-tape and you have your self-tape to like post it online?
So for the auditions, I will submit to projects on Backstage, Casting Networks, Actors Access. I'll do Facebook groups. And I check twice a day. So every 12 hours, I'm on the job boards looking for work.
That's some commitment. That's interesting.
I do 5 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Wow.
Almost religiously.
Wow.
And, they have your resume, your reels, your photos.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the production's interested in seeing more, then they generally look for an audition.
Yeah.
So it depends. Some days or should I say some weeks I'll get an audition once a week. Sometimes I'll get 10 per week. It depends how much I'm submitting to and on their end as well. But it's something you have to get used to with just reading scripts, turning out material, memorizing lines. And I mean, to be honest, I've been struggling this week with auditions. The past few weeks, I've been on projects.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a project, you're on set for 12 hours. You're like, when am I going to do this audition? You're on a project, maybe you're one character, and now the audition is the complete opposite. And it's just
And
getting
then
your
to
brain
get
and
the
body.
switch and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine that. Honestly, I can imagine that. So I was gonna ask you because you're 3 in 1. You're an actor, you're a writer, a producer. Can you give us like maybe 3 current actors, or maybe past, 3 actors that influenced you, that you've seen their acting and you're like, I like the way they act. 3 writers, and I was gonna say 3 producers, but I know producers are difficult to mention. So let's stick with actors and writers. And if you have a producer, you could throw that into.
Sure. All right. So actors, 3 actors that inspire me. I love comedic actors. I love the show Arrested Development. So Will Arnett, David Cross,
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
All
of them.
I just started watching. I feel like I'm on my Jason Bateman's role now.
Okay.
I just started seeing all of it. I saw Ozark.
Ozark is great.
I saw The Game.
The Game. I think I saw that.
It's like an oral. Oh no, not The Game. The Gift.
The Gift.
Where I think it was Edgar, and he was giving them like a gift.
Okay.
And they had like a past whatever. That it's a
It
thriller.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thriller. And then there's also, I think it's Game Night, something like that. The Game or Game Night, where they all had like these games, and then they will come to a family house and then have the game. And then there was this guy. They were like, no, we don't want him at our games. And then they will have it like at a different friend's house.
Yeah.
But then they decided to have a setup. And the setup was like, okay, the game here, you have to find this person. And then it got all chaotic and bloody. And it's a comedy too.
Yeah.
But it's like a bloody comedy type of.
Interesting.
I think it's Game Night, I believe.
Game Night. I have to check that out. Yeah.
I think it's Game Night.
Game Night.
And then Ozark. You saw Ozark?
I saw Ozark, yes.
Yeah, Ozark. What do you think about the ending of Ozark?
To be honest, I don't think I finished it.
Oh.
See, surprisingly, I actually don't watch that much TV.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone tells me, they usually give me a wagging finger because they're like, how do you not watch TV or watch enough movies? I'm like, I stay so busy that I don't often have time. And then when I do, a lot of times I'll put something on and then 10 minutes later I get bored and I start reading instead.
It's actually Game Night.
Game Night.
Game Night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Game Night.
Very cool.
So,
I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Like I said, I've just been on the Jason Bateman. I've been seeing all of his work, and I'm just like,
yeah, he's been busy.
He's been doing a lot of things. He was also like a producer and a director on Ozark.
Yeah,
so
yes.
I haven't seen Arrested Development yet. And then he has a new show called Black Rabbits. I haven't seen that one.
Black Rabbit,
yet,
okay.
So Game Night.
Yeah, he's good in dramatic roles.
Yeah.
And, Steve Carell is great, honestly, too. A comedic actor that went into drama and...
Steve Carell, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's
The
great.
Office, from The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yes.
Crazy movie.
Classic.
Yeah, he has a show out now called The Rooster. So But I haven't. It's so many shows going on now.
Yeah.
I try to watch every TV show, but the more I try, the more they release more,
Yep.
and I can't watch everything. But I try to keep up with a lot of them.
There's too much content out.
Yeah. So you give us one, 3 actors.
3. I guess I can't use the whole cast of Arrested Development.
No, you can.
Wow.
You mentioned Breaking Bad at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Breaking Bad is a great show. Bob Odenkirk, I love in there. And I love Paul Giamatti as an actor.
Okay.
I
Haven't seen him recently, though.
haven't seen him. I have to see. I think it's The Holdovers. Is that the movie?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah. You were saying producers. I was gonna say when you said producer, Tyler Perry.
Okay.
I like the fact that he has what he has, and the output he does is like incredible as a producer.
So what do you think about the outputs?
Like I mean the quantity of work.
Yeah, because that's something worth looking into. So
Yeah.
we have people like what's his name? Quentin Tarantino, for
Yes.
example. And it does maybe like 1 movie every 3 years or every
Right.
4 years. And then we have someone like Tyler Perry who does like 10 movies in a day. And if you look through it, like now I'm seeing some TV shows, I'm seeing some films. But now when you check the rating, they're not always rated so high.
Right.
And if you check someone like Quentin Tarantino, his movies are always rated so high.
Well,
So what do you think about that? You think it's the time they spend into it? Or you think it's quality over quantity? Or do you think at some point, in the case of Tyler Perry, quantity can also be quality?
well, yeah. I mean, it's two sides of the coin. I think. I think they can both be admired. I think when you're doing so many projects at once, it's much harder to have great quality work, I think, if you're spreading yourself that thin. As a producer, I think Tyler Perry's great. The work ethic is just incredible.
Yeah.
I know he's done some other types of films that were more dramatic that I haven't seen.
Yeah, he did one where he was like the hero. Where it's a popular one. From the novel. Let me see, Tyler. I think it's Cross. Yeah, Cross.
Is it like a religious
No. It's Alex Cross.
Alex Cross? Okay.
So he played Alex Cross, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of career, you have to decide what sort of projects you want to do and what you really want to be known for. Some people just like to stay busy and work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of actors that are like that they don't necessarily care so much how the film ends up. They just like to be on set.
Yeah.
There's some actors that are in hundreds of projects.
So let's talk about. In fact, this is very interesting to me because we have actors like Sylvester Stallone, right? Like Jason Statham. You don't see them at the Oscars. You don't see them at the Academy Award. But you see them, they keep making movies. They keep making, and their movies like Fast and Furious makes up to $1 billion. But you don't see them being nominated at the awards.
Right.
So, like, what does that, like, what can you speak? Like, what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, there's bias in everything with awards. And I think it's always been that way where certain genres, certain actors have a easier time, I think, at the awards for representation. Horror traditionally doesn't do well. Action doesn't traditionally do well. Some of these films in those genres, I think they deserve more recognition. I mean, I'm not saying the Fast and the Furious, any of the films in that series do, or they don't. I'm just saying, like, the Academy is incredibly biased towards certain things. And, there's a lot of different types of films, and there's a lot of indie films, there's a lot of art house films and various genres that don't get much attention. Maybe they should. But I think nowadays, maybe receiving a major award like that is not the end goal. Like, that's not the thing that's going to set you apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's other awards. There's other ways to rank your worth.
Mm-hmm.
Even as an industry, I mean, Hollywood is not the only film industry in the world.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other countries have bustling industries that you can argue are in better shape than ours. So I think things are changing, and I think it's good that things are changing.
Yeah, in the sense of taking away the monopolization of what's happening in the industry.
Right.
People, there's not, like, before it used to be like Hollywood was the gatekeeper.
They were.
But now
we're global. I mean, a lot of productions are moving out of the United States for costs. And, pros and cons. They're doing it. It saves money. It's complicated, but I think it's great that other cultures are getting more recognition.
Interesting. So 3 writers.
Writers. You didn't ask me directors.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, because your profile says writer, actor, producer.
Right.
That's why. If you want to give me 3 directors, you can go ahead and give me.
Yeah,
3
I mean,
directors.
I kind of repeated some of these from before. So
so 3 directors. Let's make it directors.
My favorite directors are Paul Thomas Anderson, which I believe he writes all his own films.
Okay.
Terrence Malick, I believe, writes his own films.
I gotta look him up.
And Darren Aronofsky, I think they all write their own films.
Did he?
I'm not sure. I'm
not sure he wrote Black Swan. What's your favorite Darren's movie?
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, I mean, people say they can't watch that movie more than once, but I think you have to watch it more than once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People get into. I think there's a portion of us that's supposed to separate fiction from reality. And I think people who can't separate fiction from reality are those who are like, I can't see it again. At the end of the day, you're watching a movie.
Because it could be traumatic, especially if you know someone that's going through something like that.
Yeah.
But he makes powerful films that have a real human quality to them.
I remember my first experience when I saw Black Swan. It was like watching magic manifestation on screen.
Right.
It was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I just played it. I think I was in for a ride. I was just
right. One of those films that
I was just like, Black Swan, let's just see it. And at the end of it, to me, when she said I felt perfect, to me that's like movie perfection. Like, there is no, you don't want anything else. You feel like the director did justice. They've given you everything that is to give.
Right.
You don't want nothing else.
That was the feeling.
That was the feeling I got from Black Swan. I was like, to me, this is movie perfection. That's just it. After seeing it, it was just like, wow, this is it. It was just so many things, and he he really did take you on a ride with that movie. Like sometimes you see them saying something and you're like, okay, that's fine, but then he now takes you back again to let you know that this was almost like an hallucination. And then you're like, okay, but then the hallucination just does have some meaning to it.
Right, right.
So it was like, oh wow, okay, this is really
It's a
interesting.
mind screw.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
and I love movies like that. I love movies like that. I like when this guy does it too. This guy that did Fight Club, David
Oh,
Fincher.
David. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like when he I love Fight Club.
Fight Club's great. I think he
Yeah.
did Seven, right?
Seven, yeah. Gone Girl.
Yes, yes.
Gone Girl was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love David Fincher. I think it was one who did The Game.
The Game. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was
a really great film.
like they took you on a ride, and only for you in the end to be like, "Oh well, it's a game."
It's a game. Yeah.
It was just, yeah, that was fantastic. If you're making a movie, right? What kind of movies would you like to make, or what's like your genre of
Sure.
music that you would like to make?
Well, the movie I'm working on now is a psychological horror.
Okay.
It's a self-contained psychological horror. It's set in a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Victorian era house. So it's sort of a period piece, but it's actually set in the future. It
So
makes
that's
sense.
sci-fi.
It's to me it's more of a horror than a sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
But I love films that give you a unsettling feeling.
Yeah.
So it's one of those films that it's all ambiance, that the mood is dripping from the screen. And that's really what I love. I love movies that take place in just a single location where you have great actors and they're just bouncing off each other with this environment. One of my favorite films that is along that lines is called The Humans. It came out a couple of years ago, and it's set on Thanksgiving night. It's a family having dinner, and it's basically like a character study. And in that film, it's set up like a horror film, but it's really a drama. But it shows that the horror really is what's inside. And for my future, I would love to kind of develop more stories that are psychological in nature, because I think those are what we can relate to the most. I mean, we can all, watch something psychological and see what the characters are going through and learn a lot about ourselves.
Yeah. I like psychological movies where they like just twist your mind and you're like, yeah, you almost become a part of the movie itself.
Right.
You're trying to solve the mystery with them. So
Yes.
I like when that engages me.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie Obsession?
I didn't see it yet.
Okay. How about Backrooms?
I have to see that as well.
Those are the two movies that's like trending.
I have to see every movie in theaters for the past year.
Oh wow.
I literally, I need to catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go. I mean, it is what it is. You just find some time to.
Yeah.
Damn, you're an actor. You should be seeing movies every day.
See, that's what I said. That's what everyone tells me.
You should be seeing movies every day.
Well,
like imagine even Tom Cruise has, as busy as he is or whatever,
Right.
he says he sees one movie a day.
right. The last thing I kind of watched was Severance.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, like we said, the hustle of it, gets to you, where when I have free time, I'm reading, I'm preparing for something, or, I'm just reading about something that interests me. Like, for movies, you would think someone that's into movies would watch a lot of movies, but my attention span is like if it doesn't get me in 10 minutes, I'm like, maybe I'm the worst critic, because it's like, if it doesn't get me in 10 minutes, I'm on my phone and I'm reading about the geography of some place in Europe.
Nah, that's unfair. I mean, if a non-film person says that, I will be like, okay, well, they don't know much about film. But if a film person tells me that, because sometimes you have to get to, so I know that as you advance in film, as you grow older in film, you have a much less time to spend on movie that doesn't interest you.
Right.
So that's true. I don't like watching bad movies too.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, as a filmmaker, I still want to see the bad movie to know exactly why that movie is bad, so I don't make something like that.
Right.
So I still kind of like still give my time to watching all types of movies.
Yeah. I'm a bad example here. I'm breaking the rules. I'm about to look at the camera and say, "Don't be like this guy."
Yeah, you gotta see movies.
Don't break the fourth wall.
Do you at least watch your own movies?
So I do, but increasingly I'm like, I watch it once and then I won't watch it again because I'm so critical of myself.
But that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. But you know what? A lot of actors don't really watch their own.
Yeah, no, I heard that. I know a lot of actors don't watch their movies.
I mean, I'll watch it. I definitely want to see it. I definitely want to watch it. If it's in a theater, absolutely. If I can watch it anywhere one time, and then if I don't hate it, if I'm okay with it, if I'm in a state where I can say, okay, let's watch it again, then I'll watch it. I'll show people. But
yeah, like imagine, I was watching like an interview of Matthew McConaughey, and it was like, no one in his family likes to watch his movie. Like they don't even watch his movie, and I'm like, I love this guy.
Right.
I want to see.
Why don't they want to see him?
So because they live with him,
Mm.
like they see him all the time. He said whenever he plays his movie, they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, I want to watch your movie again." So it's the familiarity.
Yeah.
I think that's what's like making them, because it's like when you do something, even if people tell you, "Oh, you've done a good job," that part of you that's really critical will be like, have you really done a good job? And I think that's the time when you really have to sit down and just taking the credit,
Right.
taking the applaud, and just know it's good that you're not taking it too much, but you still have to take it to know, because it's a grind, and it's a lifelong grind. Okay, and if you don't applaud yourself at some point, it's almost like you've not done anything.
Right.
So you have to be like, okay, I've done something, which is difficult. It's really difficult, but you still have to give yourself that credit and just take it, and then you go for the next project. But you still gotta take it. You can't keep being critical of yourself all the time. I believe there's enough people out there doing that for you.
Oh yeah. Go on Reddit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so you don't have to join them, at least. You have
yeah.
to be.
Yeah, but at the same time, I believe, like, you do it and then, you move on. Like you said, move on from it. See what you like and what you don't, and then I let it go. So, I don't hold on to it, but.
All right, so let's talk about your experience on set. Have you ever had a bad experience on set and you were like, damn, okay, this was a bad experience. I'm never going to work with this crew, this person, whatever. Have you ever had like an experience? It doesn't have to be about a crew. It's just like maybe during the production, maybe the character, maybe you just felt like there was just something off about this experience and I don't want to have this again.
Definitely, yes. I mean, I'm not going to give specifics, but I've had a lot of times where I've either felt like I did a terrible job and I was so critical of myself, just thinking like, this didn't feel right. There's a lot of times where I feel like there's a disconnect where I'm like questioning myself, and I'm questioning, is it the production? Sometimes it's the logistics of it. the scenes are rushed and they're just not going as planned. Me being a person that just is such a critical person of myself, I'm always like, well, it's your fault. Like you like messed up something. And so then I think, and I am critical to the point, not to the point where I will stop myself from doing more. No, but I always want to make sure that I'm covering my bases so that I know what I can be doing better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of productions, especially on the indie level, that, you're just unsure about the whole production, where it's going, if you want to work with them again. At the end of the day, like, if I get cast in something, I'm showing up. Like, that's, I may be unsure, but then if I'm getting the offer, if they want me there, I'm there. For the most part, as long as they're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think that's the best mindset to have when you're taking on this line of work, this line of career, to just always show up your best.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's difficult when I have a talent come on set and they don't have the lines memorized. To a point. You don't need to know it word for word 100%, but to a point.
Right, right.
It shows that you care about the project, and if they don't have that, then I just begin to have doubts in me, like, oh Lord.
Right. I mean, I think, there's a little bit of both where, like, I think it's good that we have humanity with each other. Like, if you forget a line, that doesn't make you a bad actor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen projects that I was cast in where, like, a certain actor doesn't know any of the lines, and that's kind of rude. I mean, if you show up and you're that unprepared, I mean, we're professionals here.
And even if other talents don't see anything, you could just know, you could pick up on the vibe that this guy is like, what's going on here? He's not like really moving, elevating everyone.
Right. It's like showing up late, like, you have a job, maybe once every few months, I don't know, you hit really bad traffic, fine. But when you're showing up late every single day, that's something that you should know how to fix by now.
Exactly.
And I mean, with the acting stuff, since I travel a lot, if I have to go from Long Island to New Jersey, I leave 2.5 hours early, sometimes even 3, because you never know with traffic. But look, if I'm going to hit really bad traffic, I still need to make sure that I'm on time. I'm early, so I make sure I'm early. Knock on wood. I'm not going to knock for sound, but I don't think I've ever been late to a film set. If so, it was maybe 5 minutes, and that was like end of the world traffic. But hey, if you have to be somewhere, figure out how you're going to do it. If that means, leaving 4 or 5 hours early wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Just really, do it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. So, I mean, I don't really have a lot of questions to ask you on movies, but you do read. So, what do you read? I know you read scripts.
What do I read?
What else do you read?
As maybe you know, I mean, I just am a bit eccentric with my personality. I love to read Wikipedia. I love learning about things, like everything. I love learning for the sake of learning. So I don't really read books. I know I should read books. I'm a writer. I should watch more movies. It doesn't make sense. But I love learning about things, and especially things that I don't even have an interest in. Like, I spent many years reading about film and TV. I mean, since I had a cell phone, I've been reading about television and acting and films, and I find the process and the production of these things more interesting than the products themselves. So I love reading about the stories behind them. But, you know, after doing that a while, now I like reading about things that I don't even have interest in. Sports, and it could be anything. I go on Wikipedia and I delve in, and if I have a half hour, I learn about a topic. I learn about a country. I learn about, you know, the weather somewhere, or something science. I don't even like science, but you know what? Now that I spent so much time with art and media and film, I'm like, you know what? I want to know about something random. This morning, fun fact, I was reading about ice cream trucks because I was thinking it's summer, like Mr. Softy. I was like, I want to know about Mr. Softy. Oh, it's a franchise. They have locations everywhere. What do they sell? I'm like going into a deep dive into like some random thing, just for fun. And that's what's fun to me.
Nice.
Just
nice.
Random things.
Yeah, there's this guy on social media who could just grab something, just one stuff, and he would just keep asking questions and just keep digging all the way. Before you know it, you'll be led down the rabbit hole. I think maybe you should have a channel like that and just keep leading people down the rabbit hole.
That's where we go. You never know where you're gonna get.
Yeah. So I was thinking, since I know you have a passion for comedy, and you said you're also working on horror.
Yes.
And one of my favorite directors is Jordan Peele, and he said the difference between comedy and horror is the music theme, the soundtrack. But I want to hear from you. What do you think is the difference between comedy and horror? Do you think they are so close? Do you think it's the music, or what do you think is the difference to you?
Well, I think when they work together, I think they can enhance each other. They can potentiate each other, like mixing two different drugs, right? And I think adding comedy to horror is such a great thing. I think it makes it scarier.
Okay, I was thinking something else, because when you had comedy to horror, it makes it more receivable to the audience.
Yes.
They can receive it.
It makes it accessible.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, the comedy that I love black comedy, cringe comedy, dark humor. And I think that is the center area of the Venn diagram between comedy and horror. When you have characters in a room together that hate each other, and you know, maybe it's a comedy, but you don't know where it's going. That's the true horror. When you're not sure if you turn a movie on, it's kind of funny, but there's something unsettling. But it's funny, but it's unsettling, and it just keeps escalating. And I think when you merge those together, the unknown is what's the scariest to all of us. I mean, like Hitchcock said, it's like, you know, the image of the closed door is the scariest thing you could show someone. You know, it's like in Jaws, the shark, just see the fin. You know, we don't actually want to know. Once you know, it's not scary anymore. It's your imagination that sets the scene for your scariest thoughts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're similar but different. But, you know, it's the soundtrack that.
So which one do you prefer most, horror or comedy?
I would say comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah. I don't really consider myself like a horror aficionado. I love, you know, I love certain things, and I like psychological films.
Yeah.
I think the deepest horror is always psychological.
Yeah. I think that's why horror movies like Conjuring works. They have like psychological impact.
Yeah,
they have like jump scare. It's not that much blood. There's like bloody horror. There's like the jump scare ones. And I think the jump scare ones really, that's what makes them really work.
Yeah. It's, you know, whatever's in your mind is the scariest thing in the world. That's how I see it.
It's really interesting. Yeah, that's it. That's what happens. That's if you can put it in people's mind and they think about it, then that's where the whole
Yeah.
thing really comes from.
I actually, if I can go back, I thought of a writer, Rod Serling, Twilight Zone. One of my favorite writers.
Were you talking about the old Twilight Zone?
Old original Twilight Zone. The creator, Rod Serling, he wrote 90 of the 160 episodes. He is, I think, a genius. And when you look at so many sci-fi, thriller, horror projects now, so many of them are rooted in
Twilight
episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Nice. Did you ever see the new one, the reboot by Jordan Peele?
I did, and I saw a few episodes. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know why.
You still did good. I just heard about it.
Yeah.
I didn't get into anything.
But they were an hour long, and the original Twilight Zone had hour-long episodes, and they were kind of stretched. And I felt that the Jordan Peele version, the hour-long episodes again felt stretched. And I don't know if they did that because it's kind of uncommon nowadays to have a half-hour drama, but I think they could have been tightened up a bit. But it was still good.
And did you ever see Black Mirror?
Black Mirror, I saw a few episodes.
Yeah.
I forget which ones now.
I mean, you don't really need to see because they are all like not really related.
Yeah.
So you could watch.
The style is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Twilight Zone of
like modern
nowadays. Yeah.
I haven't seen everything too, but I saw like a couple of them. The first one.
Yeah.
Some of them. I think I had to see some for one of my philosophy class, I believe, and it was really interesting. That made me saw a few more episodes, but that was it.
Yeah.